canoes, like I said, canoes always a passion of mine. So when I first went to the Marshalls, I really want to get involved with canoes and fishing. And, when the opportunity opened, I jump at it. My first job was to work for the museum, Aelõñ Museum. And what we did was we went from atoll to atoll to document the step-by-step construction of canoes. And of course, in those days, people would ask, why would you do that? Because it's part of their life. And we thought that it was, the museum thought that it was important to document those knowledge. So we did that. And when that was done, then we utilized that to train our young. So the last voyaging canoe that we built was on Ujai Atoll. And we document the step-by-step construction of that with the chant, the songs. As a matter of fact, that was the first time the sail weaving was documented. And it was so hard to document these things because, it belongs to the people, it belongs to the family. And yet we had to go through the chief to get the green light to do it. But anyhow, while we were doing that, there were a lot of kids coming to visit the site. And I was very interested. I really felt good because I thought that was a great thing to have the kids come and visit and learn how to build the canoe. Later, I found out that the education system, the Marshalls, if you don't pass the high school exam, that's pretty much the end of your education life, academic life. So a lot of those kids never passed high school exam. So that's why they were in the outer islands. And so, of course, some of them were dropouts coming back home. And what really bad was that in big countries, because it's just one island, if you drop out of the school, there are other opportunities, and it's just a taxi ride from where you are. But the Marshall Islands are so isolated, different islands, different places, miles across. So if you don't pass the high school exam, there is a very little chance that you will get into another program. So that's why a lot of those kids were there, teen pregnancy and, of course, that kind of stuff. So the elders told me, oh, yeah, those kids actually are dropouts. So when the canoe was done, I made a promise that I would start my own school to accommodate that crowd, that population. Easier said than done. When the program was, when the documentation phase was done, then we won the Majel. And of course, I was jobless for a couple of years. Just volunteered to take care of the canoe that we built. When the canoe was done, we sailed that canoe from Ujai to Kwajalein, which was the first time the people on Kwajalein Atoll ever seen big canoes of that size. And many of them never seen a canoe before. And from the Kwajalein, we sailed to Majel, which is about 250 miles. And of course, the canoe, there were no program or anything with that canoe. And I was the only one that knew how to sail the canoe. They said, okay, Alson, you take care of that canoe. And one day we'll find the job for, a program for it. Anyhow, that's how I started. And we got involved with Youth Doing Health. I was involved with that. So I borrowed their kids to be part of the training program. And that's kind of like how the recipe started.